Now, I'm starting with this because I didn't take this picture. This is a picture my dad took in 1971. Cool. And he won a competition on the Australian Photography magazine. I couldn't find the cover of the magazine. I was going to have it up there. But photography was always part of our family, and sadly he died 2 years after this, and we sort of got this thing about photography in the family, like it was a big thing, and we learned photography on his old Practicas and old roller cords, and it was, you know, a big part of growing up was photography. So I found that photography has come back to me as an adult as a really good meditation, as a really interesting occupation, as something to keep me very happy. So I've gone from old Practicas to now preset Sony A99 full frame DSLR with a Sony 72-400 F4. You get very excited when you see the price too. F4 to 5.6. It's a pretty slow lens. It's not a fast lens, but it does cost about 10 grand less than the equivalent F4. Yeah, faster lens. So there we go. So that's the equipment. So this is a bit of a show and tell, a bit of a masterclass in just how good photography can be. So I want to show you the sort of things that I've been up to. So I focused on birds, just because I found birds down the creek. I hit down the creek now. So it's about obviously technical mastery, artistic sophistication, and the natural beauty of birds. It's been a developing process. This is when I was just starting. This is back with the A77, the earlier camera and a smaller lens, but still getting the hang of the process and learning about it. So I'm going to put a few inspirational quotes in here as well to help you get a sense of what drives the work. So, you know, Miro, you can look at a picture for a week and never think of it again. You can also look at a picture for a second and think of it all your life. I'd like to think of my work in that context. So here is obviously capturing a moment in time, and it's possibly suffering a bit here in the background. You see the focus is a little bit soft, but still getting some of the energy of the bird. This time, I prefer working with Australian natives, less than introduced species, because the sulphur crested is such a beautiful bird. I love what's happened with the claws. Again, catching the action and the energy in the bird. This one more graphic, working with graphic elements. You know, trying to juxtapose, you know, sort of mechanical, man-made elements with the natural beauty of the bird. A lot of wattle birds in Cruikshank Park at the moment, so it's a great challenge to capture the wattle bird because they're a beautiful creature, a little yellow tongue you can't quite see. They're also a little red wattle you can't quite see in this picture, but you can see they're really nice and sharp across the front there. Very important there to get your focus, you know, in the right spot. So the Dianabus, I've never taken a picture I've intended. They're always better or worse. So working with commonplace elements, you can still make great pictures just from commonplace things you see, like, you know, suburban streets, suburban magpies, you know. This one is perhaps more of an abstract piece. I almost got the poo in focus, but this is a welcome swallow. You can't quite see the characteristic red on the face, but it is a welcome swallow. They move very quickly. So it's a real challenge, I find, to get, you know, all of it. The woolly wagtail is characterised by quite an erratic flight. You know, you've probably seen they're very, very quick. So what you do is you pre-focus. You find the spot where they're going to land, and you pre-focus on that spot, and then you hope that they'll come back to it. Most things in life are moments of pleasure and a lifetime of embarrassment. Photography is a moment of embarrassment and a lifetime of pleasure, which couldn't be more true when you're looking at these. But, here's a great egret. Again, that's got a kind of Japanese feel, I think. It's they're again a stunning bird, and one of the most exciting challenges is to get that moment of takeoff, because it's quite an exciting moment. Difficult to get all the moment of takeoff, but at most. He was working in the cemeteries in Kew Cemetery. You can see I've really got the nice, trying to work with the interesting sort of geometric elements, you get the symmetry, and also this is a spotted turtle dove. You can't quite, the spots are about here.
Do you use a lot of Photoshop, Philip?
I meant to say, these are all uncropped. It's like, it's if you're a purist photographer, you don't mess with Photoshop. Particularly, I mean, there's obviously some adjustments to light levels, and a little bit of tweaking of the light levels, but no cropping. These are all straight from the camera. I haven't messed with these at all. These are exactly as I would take them. I think that's to be honest about the photography. So here we have a pair of galahs, one thoughtfully looking the other way and the other one making its way out of the shot. But you can see, again, just having setting your aperture so you've got a decent depth of field, because if you focus on the eyes, you usually get enough of the head in focus. With a long lens like that, you've only got about 100 mil at 400 mil, so you really want to make sure the focus is crisp on most of the bird. To photograph is to hold one's breath when all faculties converge to capture fleeting reality. It's at that precise moment that mastering an image becomes a great physical and intellectual joy. As shown here, I was trying to calculate the shutter lag. It's an important thing with a good camera. There's not shutter lag between seeing a moment and capturing the moment. You want as little lag as possible. Here the lag is probably around about 250 mil too much. So I'm just working on that. That's a spontaneity thing. Also, it's important when you're capturing movement, it's good if you can position yourself at 90 degrees to the movement, because then you can pan with the action, and then you can keep it in focus as you pan with the action. It's pretty important to make sure there's no obstacles in your way, because that can interfere with the. You can see nice and sharp here on the splashes. Same about the concrete, and again, getting nice and close makes a big difference. You get much more of the bird in the frame. And as Cartier-Bresson pointed out, your first 10,000 photographs are your worst. So you'd be pleased to hear that I'm working towards that. Again, working with a panning action to capture the little pied cormorant as it's taking off. Yeah, look at this really nice.
Is that about 1,000 per second?
I think that's about 12/50th. It was quite quick just to capture that, yes. And again, panning with the subject as it moves under the bridge in this case. So you sort of see the bird, you see it take off and just move naturally with it, and you capture things like that. Or like this. The texture you get from the rust and the moulds and things on the concrete is quite lovely, particularly if you've managed to leave the bird out. I mean, this is bokeh. It's the quality of the out of focus areas, just in case anyone asks you. A great cormorant, again, that whole timing thing, but they're quite spectacular when they take off. You can see the splash coming off it there, just almost wonderful. And this one is also a great cormorant. And I was looking to capture that moment just as they dive. And if you anticipate it correctly, there's that moment as they leap under the water. It's quite lovely if you anticipate it correctly. Otherwise, yes, exactly. Otherwise, you get the arse end of it and some reflections, which is what I got there. And sometimes there's amazing how much bird life down there. I've seen about 30 different species down there in the last 2 years. So you've got your white-faced hairy, your great cormorant, and a little black cormorant. Well, I didn't actually notice at the time because I was focused on these two, and consequently missed possibly an opportunity there.
You say you were focused on those two.
Well, focused, but then the camera decided and focused over here. Intellectually, as And as Robert Capper says, if your pictures aren't good enough, you aren't close enough. Obviously, I'm endeavouring to get much closer from now on, as much as possible. Yeah, possibly a wetsuit or a boat. Again, little pied cormorants. You see the lovely textures you get in the concrete here and there, and also some. This is in Victoria Park in Kew. Little rainbow lorikeets. They're stunning birds, beautiful colours. If you can get those colours in the shot, it really makes for a beautiful image. They do move very quickly, as do cormorants when they're taking off. And I was excited to see it start. You can anticipate. You see them start to take off. You pan with them, and you get a range of things in the shot. Not all the things you're after, perhaps. And this final one here is sort of a commemorative one. This was taken. I sort of started trying these shots 2 years ago when I take Tracy out to the park, Tracy, our dog, and the noisy miners hate her because she ate a couple of noisy miners a few years ago. They hate her guts, and they dive bomb her. And when I first started taking pictures of her, trying to get a shot of just as the noisy miner just clipped her across the ear as it came down. And 2 years ago, I nearly got it, just as the bird left the frame. And so now with a lot of practice and probably around 10,000 shots, you can see now that she's much more in focus. This is the shark here. Look at the nice depth of field effect there. And again, nearly capturing the moment. So that's good. So here, just as a final thought then, which of my photographs is my favourite? The one I'm going to take tomorrow. So I leave you with that thought that I'll be taking pictures today and tomorrow, and that's hopefully going to bring me as much joy as this. That's the website, by the way, if you want to go and look at the blog. I mean, obviously you haven't had enough, there's more there. Or if you want other photos, there's a book, and there's this one, NouveauTwitch.com, which has pictures where I've got all the bird in the frame, which is probably less interesting. But if you want to see those, there. And the calendars will be available soon. Thank you very much.